I will only be showing early game footage from Primordia, the first area in Xenoblade X. So much of the joy of open world games comes from the thrill of discovery and curiosity of exploration. I will only be speaking vaguely about the areas and won't spoil much of anything. If you're worried about even the tiniest of spoilers, you can just listen to the audio. It's taken me so long to finally get around to playing Xenoblade X. I had heard mixed things about it, but one thing was always so unanimously praised: the open world. I can't even begin to describe how incredible the alien planet of Mira is, and it pains me that, compared to other AAA open world games, basically no one will experience the euphoria of exploration in this incredible game. I'm Ouroboros. Let's talk. Despite Xenoblade being my favorite series, I never got to play X. I never owned a Wii U, so I was really excited when Definitive Edition got announced on like some random Tuesday. What the hell, Nintendo? If there's one thing that's been consistent about the series, is that each game has managed to carve its own unique identity through their environments. The interconnectivity and spectacle of the Bionis, the well-defined Titans of Alrest, the somehow cohesive yet cobbled together chimera of Ionios. Yet, somehow, I find myself in awe of the 5 areas on planet Mira. And it's not necessarily because of the grand creativity of traversing the dead body of a once proud Titan, nor does it invoke the sense of tense culture wars. No. My excitement lies within the vast expanse of unknown landscape that is just begging for you to explore. There's so much to do in X, like almost an unfathomable amount of things. And yeah, part of that is the side quest. There are so many interconnected stories and relationships that blossom or crumble as you progress through literally dozens of quest lines, each taking you to different corners of this unknown world. And yeah, part of that is the Frontier Nav, little nodes for you to discover in this vast array of hexagonal segments. Each segment offers you some specific objective for you to accomplish now or later that is mostly irrelevant to main story progression. Those things all excite me to no end, and I could ramble on about them for ages, but what really excites me is the vast amount of small, insignificant, seemingly inconsequential tidbits scattered throughout the landscape. I don't need some big, glowing quest marker. I don't need a main story mission. I just want to explore. And that's exactly what the game wants you to do. The story is intentionally bare bones because Mira serves as your backyard playground. You discover places above ground, in deep caverns, or high in the sky. You meet characters, some friendly, some hostile. You discover events, some intense, others randomly comedic. This is how you do open world. The world is the point. As much as I love the combat and skill and class systems, I love how deep and engaging all of those things are, but those are just the cherry on top. The foundation that Monolith set here is, and I don't say this often, perfect. Xenoblade X is open world perfection. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that it's a perfect open world game, but rather the open world is perfect. Much of it comes down to simply mixing up the enemy levels. Unlike many RPGs, the enemy levels are seemingly randomly placed. There are level 80 enemies right near New LA, your starting base. You can find level 8 enemies in what should be the final area you explore. There are level 90 plus bosses scattered throughout the world, and so the exploration of Mira is entirely up to your own courage and even stupidity. Do you want to slowly work your way through low-level quests and tackle high-level enemies only when you feel completely prepared? That's perfectly reasonable. Do you want to see if you can sneak past those high-level enemies and get a frontier nav spot? I know I did. Do you want to make a mad dash once you're spotted in hopes of unlocking a new warp point? We've all done it. It's up to you. There are, as far as I'm aware, no restrictions when it comes to exploration. Sure, you might not be able to make your way past a brutal tyrant that's blocking an entrance to a cave, but your level and story progression will never flat out lock you out of the world. Now, your story progression might give you access to new side quests, but those side quests are typically tied to revelations that occur in the main story. And those side quests now open up new quests that give you access to new characters and new shops and new events and new gear and new this and new that. And the world slowly evolves as you do these things. It never stays static. Mira is just as malleable as Earth once was, and yet it's able to chew you up and spit you out in one fell swoop. The enemies can be relentless if you don't know what you're doing or get caught off guard. But as you get used to the wildlife of Mira, you slowly start to understand the ecology. Mira doesn't feel like a video game world, it feels like an alien planet. And I know that sounds odd, but so many of the enemies you find are just minding their own business. They either don't care about you or will only attack if provoked. You are truly out of your element here, and just another part of the ecosystem. That makes NLA stand out so much. You are alien here, not the other way around. The industrial complex of your foster home is really a bit of an eyesore compared to the untouched wilderness of Mira. Humans are somehow completely unwelcome on Mira, yet simultaneously irrelevant compared to the splendor of the local fauna, and especially the flora. There are so many iconic locations that have etched themselves into my mind because of the trees or rock formations or sprawling mountainsides. And do you know what I said to myself over and over again when playing this game? It really came out in 2015. This game came out way before so many open world icons like Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn, The Witcher 3, and so many more. That's insane, and by a studio that's really not that big, at least comparatively speaking. I love the Xenoblade series. It's a franchise that is criminally underappreciated. I don't know if X is my favorite game in the series. In fact, I still haven't beaten it yet. While I finished the vanilla story content, I have still yet to complete the new story additions, and despite being 80 hours deep into the game, I still feel like there are hundreds of side quests and other minutiae that are calling to me. I know this plight will mostly fall on deaf ears, but please, if you haven't tried playing any of the Xenoblade games, dear God, give them a try. If you're looking for a deep and compelling narrative, go for the numbered trilogy. Go play Xenoblade 1 Definitive Edition and tell me you can't get hooked on the story. If you're looking for an expansive open world that's teeming with secrets to discover, go grab X. It kills me that I don't know a single person who has played this series, even though each game does have its share of problems. All of the games offer some of the most unforgettable experiences I've had in gaming. Xenoblade X is open world perfection. I'll save the rest of my thoughts for when I publish my full review of the game, but for now, just know that it has set the bar impossibly high for the next open world games that I will play, and it will probably never do the same for most people, simply because they will never play it. Thanks for watching.